Every marriage has 3 rings. The engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the bicker ring. We're here to settle the fights that don't matter and have no winner. It's the 3 Rings Podcast with another new argument.
Well, hello and welcome once again to another episode of the 3 Rings Podcast. My name is Phil.
And I'm Lauren.
And we are
married.
We are married.
Yes.
Yes, we are married indeed. And we've been married for just over 4 years now. So we know a thing or two about marriage.
Yeah, we're real experts.
That's right. I mean, we kind of are at this point.
No, we're not. There are people who have been married like 10 times as long as we've been.
Yeah, but are they as happy as we are?
I don't know. It probably depends on the couple.
See? So we've got some experience on being happily married.
We have a little experience.
We have a lot of experience. That's my argument, at least.
I don't think we're experts, but
I think we're getting close to being experts.
At what year would we be experts, you think? 10?
I think 10.
Okay.
10 is a good gauge.
Okay. All right.
You know, 5 is like, not really, but like after 10, like you've gone through some shit.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you probably have kids if you want them at that point.
Yeah.
Like you've gone through a lot after 10 years of marriage.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I think
we've got
pretty good.
6 more years.
We're almost halfway there.
All right.
We're doing all right.
Yeah, we're doing fine.
And it's coming up at the end of 2020. We're getting closer and closer.
Yeah,
to the
I
end
feel
of the
like this
here.
year should count as 2 years.
It really does. I mean, this probably took like 10 years off of everyone's life. It's like,
probably, yeah.
it's been shitty.
Yes.
To say the least.
Yes.
So I think a lot of people will be happy to get into 2021, even though we did talk about this a couple of weeks ago, that 2021 is not going to start out great.
No, but there are things that you can do to make them great, and I think that kind of gets into our discussion today.
Yeah, all right.
Which is resolutions. Should you make them or should you not?
Yeah, New Year's resolutions, I feel like this isn't like a couples thing. You know, most of our arguments are couple driven, but this is more of a self thing.
Yeah, and I know some people who are like adamantly not. They are like, I am anti-resolution. They just stress me out. I don't like to do them. Yeah.
Me.
And then there are some people who started 2020 by making a vision board.
Yeah. How'd that go?
I feel like I should light it on fire. I think we threw it out, but
pretty sure you threw it out.
I think it's cursed.
How much of your vision board actually came
true?
true?
None of it.
None of it?
Oh, wait, no. We did get the car. We got the car.
Yeah.
That came true.
Okay.
The other things, no.
Okay. Not great for the vision.
No. But you know what? Whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, this episode is talking about New Year's resolutions. Again, should you make them or should you not? I am team don't make a New Year's resolution.
It should not come as a shock to anyone.
No, it really shouldn't at this point.
And I am team make them.
Even after your disaster of a vision board.
I think so, yes.
Okay.
I think, in the right hands, they can be a very powerful tool.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right. Well, you have the honor of going first since I went first last week.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So my 3 points.
All
One, I think that it can symbolize like fresh starts, which can be very motivating to people.
Okay.
2, I think that the major problem with resolutions is that a lot of people don't set the right goals, and I'll get into what a right goal will look like.
Okay.
And 3 is people tend to mess up and then give up when in reality you have an entire year and you need to remember that.
That's fair. So before you go into your points, because I feel like some of the points that I make are kind of in line with yours.
Okay.
But for different reasons.
Okay.
So point number 1, obviously for why you shouldn't make New Year's resolutions, they are so easily broken.
Okay.
Incredibly easy to break New Year's resolutions. Number 2, I think that it's better to make small goals throughout the year.
Okay.
Not just start the year, here are all the goals. Just that. And number 3, unnecessary added stress throughout essentially the beginning of the year, but also preceding and going through the year. So
Okay. All
those are
right.
mine. So I mean, there's some connection,
Yeah, there's a thread. Yeah.
a little bit, but
Yep.
I feel like different arguments being made for some of these. So
I think so. Yeah, in the right hands, resolutions can be extremely motivating because they kind of symbolize like a fresh start. So, especially after a tough year like this one, it represents like letting the past go and moving forward and starting fresh. And it's a reminder that you always have like another chance to accomplish your goals. So that I think it can be a really good like starting point and like just a really good like I think the symbol of New Year's Day being like this is going to be like it's a new year. I can focus on new things, like I can let go of 2020, I can let go of the past year and move forward. I think that can be really powerful some people, and like that can be very motivating. So I am pro. If you find that motivating, if you find that new day, new year motivating, then absolutely go for it. Like, and I am definitely one of those people, like I cannot start, like if I set a goal, like I have to start like mentally for whatever reason, like it has to be a new week. Like I can't start a goal like on a Tuesday.
I feel like most people are like that, though.
Like mentally I have to like go into like a new phase.
But I feel like that's why so many people fail at them, though.
I don't think so. See, this gets into my point number 2. I don't think that people set the right goals, and that's why they don't succeed. So I found a Psychology Today article that mentioned specifically setting SMART goals as your New Year's resolution. And like SMART is all caps, it's like an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time specific. So in order to set good goals, you have to have a specific goal. You can't be like, I just want to lose weight. That's not a specific goal. Or I just want to get fit. That's not a specific goal. You have to say, I want to lose X number of pounds. I want to be able to bench press X number of pounds. Like, have something specific that you can achieve. And measurable, that's kind of like, it goes into like specifics. Like, you have to have a metric that you can measure yourself up against. Achievable, a lot of people set really unrealistic goals.
Yeah.
In the new year, or goals that you don't have any control over.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like how personal do we want to get on here?
That's up to you.
Okay, so like we are trying to start a family, but I can't say in 2021 my goal is to get pregnant. I have no control. I mean, I have some control, but I have a lot of control with certain things, but ultimately at the end of the day, like science is going to determine whether or not we get pregnant this year. I can't help to a point. I cannot help what my body does.
Yeah.
So you have to let go of some of that. Whereas I can set a goal that like I want to do things that are going to help me or better my chances of getting pregnant, whether it's losing weight or eating a specific way or, taking medication or whatever the case may be. Those are achievable. Those I can control.
Yeah.
So making that your goal as opposed to like giving yourself steps that you can achieve into a larger goal, that is achievable. Making a lofty goal of or like some people are just like, I want to lose like 30 pounds in the next 3 weeks. Like there's no healthy way that you are going to be able to do that. Like
Probably not.
you got to let that go. You got to say like, if I lose, 6 pounds in the next 3 weeks, that's my goal. That's achievable. You can do that. 30 pounds in 3 weeks, not happening.
No.
Relevant is like, there has to be an overarching why that motivates you. It has to be relevant to your life and relevant to your like specific like needs. So like, figuring out your why can be a really motivating factor. So like, why do you want to lose weight? Is it for your overall health, like in the future? Is it because there is you have a genetic predisposition to a like certain illness that you're trying to avoid in old age? Like, why are why are you trying to achieve this goal? So relevant to you, and then time specific. Give yourself a deadline and follow it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to, like, it can be a year long, it could be 3 months, it could be 2 months, like, as long as there is a time that you want to achieve it by, have a deadline. So set the right kind of goals, and then you'll be more likely to achieve them, or the right kind of resolutions, and then you'll be more likely to achieve them, and that'll help you, like. So I think a lot of people don't accomplish it because they aren't setting the right kind of goals, but if you do it, you can.
And I mean, I agree with that, but, you know, and it's something that I'll get into a little bit when I talk about my points. It's like, why does this need to be a New Year's resolution kind of thing? Like,
I think that the New Year's
if you wanna start this
resolution
in
is
July,
just
do it in
like,
July.
I think it's more like, I mean, yeah, absolutely. If you want to do it in July, then start in July. But I think New Year's resolutions are just it's just the symbolism of starting something new. You know what I mean? It's more the symbol of, like, it's a new year, it's a new day. I'm going to try and do this. So my third point, though, is that a lot of people, like, they give up. Like, they'll spend January trying to accomplish their goal, and then they give up. And it's like, you have an entire year to work on it. Like, if you make it through January and you, like, kill it, but then on February 1st you, like, bomb, just pick back up and keep going. Like, you have a whole year. That's the point of the resolution, is to give yourself an entire year to accomplish something. And, like, if you fail at some point, adjust and keep going.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, though, I mean, it just becomes too hard to look that far into the future. And I feel like, again, talking about, like,
the SMART goals,
like,
so,
when you have something that is going to be very difficult or unobtainable, then, you know, people get discouraged, people lose hope, and they give up, or they change what they want to do. So to me, like, I mean, that goes right into my first point. So
I mean, go for it. Yeah, no, go.
I didn't know if you had more that you were gonna kind of pitch in with your third point there.
Like, you make your first point, and then I'll
okay.
counter it from there.
So, you know, again, like, people give up on New Year's resolutions to a statistically wild degree. So, according to a recent article in the Times Tribune, New Year's resolutions are easily broken if they're made at all. So, over 2,000 Americans participated in a recent Ipsos survey. 38% said that they plan to have a New Year's resolution. So less than half of people even make a resolution. Studies show that only 8% of Americans who make a New Year's resolution actually keep them all year. 80% fail by the start of February. So 80% of people that make a New Year's resolution, by the end of January, they've already failed.
But, like, I think that you need to, like, I think that people need to change their definition of failure. I think it's like, if you screw up, that's not a failure. Failure is giving up. That's the failure.
But I think that's what's being said. Like,
they give up.
Yeah. If your goal was, like, you know, for the new year, like, I'm going to go to the gym, you know, like, more often. Again, like what you talked about, it's not a specific thing. So when that doesn't happen, people just give up and it's just done.
Yeah.
And if you say, like, what was your New Year's resolution? Did you keep it? Again, only 8% of people keep their New Year's resolution all year long. Mm-hmm. So you're looking at, out of that, I mean, again, 80% fail by February. So the other 20% of people that make a New Year's resolution, 8% of that makes it the entire year. So the other 12% fail just after February.
See, I don't think that is a problem with resolutions. I think that's a problem with people's, like, mentality around accomplishing their goals.
But that's my point, is if we have this mindset of making New Year's resolutions and you can't get more than half of people to even do it, and of those people that do it, only 8% of them actually accomplish what they set out to do, why is this even still a thing, and why should you make it?
Okay, so that 8%, like, yeah, maybe those 8%, they accomplished it, but how many people came close to accomplishing it and they wouldn't have the year before if they hadn't said it? Or
12%, apparently, if my math is right. Again, 20% actually go past January.
Yeah, I don't think that this is resolution's fault, though. I think this is a problem with society's goal setting.
So, again, I don't think that we need New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
Is the point.
Okay.
So if they're that easily broken, then either
but then
you
by
have to,
that
then
same,
you have to change the system to
by
it.
that same logic, like, you are essentially saying, why set goals? Why do it?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying the concept of the New Year's resolution, New Year, this is my big goal for the year. Most people don't accomplish it. So gets into my second point. It's better to just make goals throughout the year. Things that, again, are things that you can accomplish. They're not easy necessarily. They can be. For some people, it can be easy things. It can be, like, I talked to 3 people at work today. It can be easy things. But it needs to be something that puts you on track to making progress and then building your way towards those goals. That's why in the military, the first thing that you do is you make your bed. You make your bed. Task completed. You start the day off on the right foot. Yeah. You've done something positive, and then it snowballs from there. So make those small goals that lead up to the big goal, like you were saying, but you can do it throughout the year. You don't have to say, this is my goal for the entire year.
I mean, I agree. Yeah, you can set goals any times. I'm just saying that New Year's resolutions, like New Year's is a good time to do it because of the symbolism.
I mean, I understand the symbolism, but
if you find it meaningful, then, like, that's the perfect time to set a goal.
I mean, honestly, like, I disagree with that. Like, I would push it to a different time.
Why?
Like, push it to, like, sometime in, like, the summer.
I think you just don't like it because it's cliche.
Part of it is because it's cliche, so yeah, of course I'm not going to like it because of that.
Which is an extremely Aquarian trait, I would like to say. But anyways.
God. Fuck. Okay. But all right, think of it this way. You see, you've been doing this thing through work, where it was
100 days.
100 days, and here's what you want to accomplish in that 100 days. And it was, you wanted to run a 5K. And because of COVID and everything, that's being delayed, obviously.
Yes.
So think of this, with the training that goes into it and wanting to run. It's getting colder. There's daylight savings.
Okay, yes. So, but here's how I view that. Like, I have not been able to. I set the 5K goal as a overarching goal of, like, it was a more specific, more measurable way to accomplish getting healthier and working on, like, my physical health. So yes, I have not been able to run nearly at all the past couple of weeks because it's been cold, it's been rainy, the holidays, COVID, etc. Like, you can't go to gyms, you can't, like, all of these things. Yes, it's been difficult, but I'm still accomplishing my overarching goal. We hired a personal trainer. I'm working on my diet. Like, these are, like, pivot. I still think that I am accomplishing my overall goal, even if that specific goal of, like, running a 5K isn't happening.
But that's what I'm saying is it is different, but the motivation, I feel like it would be easier to do when it's not shitty outside, when it's not
it would be
the holiday and stuff like that. So,
but I think
just, like, why do we need it to be New Year, new this? Like, if you want to do it in March, or if you want to do it in September, or like like make the goals that you want to make.
That's a personal choice. But
year.
if you find New Year's if you find New Year's a motivating time to do something, then like I think that you should take advantage of that. Like if you find it a great time to do this stuff, then go for it. But like I think the bigger thing is that like we need to take the shame out of like starting to accomplish or trying to accomplish a goal, going like maybe I overshot this one a little bit. Like I mean I understand like I chose the worst possible time to make a goal of running. Like it was a stupid goal. Like that was dumb. But like I wasn't thinking ahead, and I recognize that, and there shouldn't be any shame in pivoting and going like, you know what, I'm going to do something else that accomplishes my larger goal, which is my health and my physical strength.
I agree. Which, again, if we get off of the whole New Year's resolution aspect of goal setting, that's great. When we're doing it January 1st, here's my goal for the year. It's added stress for a lot of people. You've just gotten through all the holidays, which this year included stressful for a different reason, but normal years, if you're traveling or if you have people over, like finances, like there are so many things that stress people out during the holidays. And that's just a fact. So why do you want to add in making a big fucking goal that most people don't obtain?
But like reframe that. Like maybe like the holidays are usually a time when you spend a lot of time thinking about the wants and needs of the people around you, whereas like a New Year's resolution is like a great opportunity to think about your wants and needs. Like, what do I need that I've been neglecting? It gives you the opportunity to just kind of reflect and take stock of like how am I feeling now that all of this like focus and energy can be spent a little bit more selfishly, as opposed to like worrying about my kids and worrying about my parents and worrying about my grandparents and worrying about, traveling and all of this stuff. Like, I think that like it can be an incredibly motivating thing.
Yeah. And again, I don't have a problem with goals. I have a problem with the New Year's resolution concept, because that's going to add stress. That's going to impact your mental and physical health, especially if you don't accomplish whatever goal it is that you set. Whether you pivot or not, most people, the general mass of people, they make the goal too big. That's just a common thing. I want to lose weight in the new year. And then you don't lose weight and you get discouraged. And then you give up. And then you fall back into whatever pattern there is. If we just got rid of the whole New Year's resolution
like
concept
and
stigma and just focused on, it doesn't matter when you do this. It doesn't have to be new year, new start. Here's, like, I get the symbolism and all of that. I think that,
like, there are people where New Year's resolutions are not going to be healthy for you. Like, if it's going to cause you stress and mental anguish, then, like, absolutely don't do it. But I think there are a large portion of people who maybe, like, didn't quite accomplish that goal, or maybe like February came and they had to change their goal. Like, it doesn't, but like you can still accomplish something. And if you find it motivating, then like absolutely I am pro resolution. Okay. So tell us what you think on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at 3 Rings Pod. That's THREE Rings Pod. And we will, and if you are setting a resolution, then tell us what it is. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
Set a SMART goal.
Yes. And if you're not making a resolution, doesn't mean you don't have goals that you can set. No.
I'm not saying that. Neither am I. I think you could be a highly motivated person. Well, obviously, like, you are a highly motivated, ambitious person who does not like setting resolutions, and there are people out there.
Yep.
But
we exist.
You do. You do. Yeah. So let us know, and if you like our podcast, please rate and review us wherever you listen to us, and share us with your friends, and we will talk to you all next week.
Indeed.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to another weekly episode of the 3 Rings Podcast. We'll be back next week with another new argument. In the meantime, follow us on all social media platforms at 3 Rings Pod. Join in the argument and tell us who's right, who's wrong, or why you have the right answer. Whatever. Just tell us stuff.